G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Aussie Investing Machine. We've got an exciting ASX growth-oriented company to talk about in this episode, and their name is Cirralto. Cirralto goes by the ticker code CRO on the ASX. Investors in the company have enjoyed an over 2,000% return year to date. The company specializes in software which supports business-to-business or B2B payments. There's a whole host of reasons why the company thinks this is a good market to play in, and we'll get to that shortly. I thought it would be a great idea to go through their latest investor presentation, which only dropped a couple of days ago. Let's find out exactly what the company's been up to and where they're headed into 2021 and beyond. Now, as always, guys, this video is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. Before making any investment decisions, please do go and see a licensed financial advisor. Okay, let's jump straight into it. So here's Cirralto's February 2021 investor presentation. We can see here on the glossary page, there's a few important terms that we need to know. We've been over B2B, that means business to business. The other key one I'd like to point out is the BPSP, which is a business payment solution provider. Now we know Cirralto has entered into a BPSP agreement with Visa, and this is a massive step forward for the company. So here's a summary from the company themselves. Cirralto Limited is a transaction services business supplying industries with a broad range of B2B payment services. So next up are their quarterly results. Let's jump straight into these. As we can see, here's some information on their revenue and share price performance. We know all about their share price performance. They've had a massive run over 2020. Over here, we can see their quarterly unaudited revenue growth. Now, there's not a lot of history behind these numbers, but it is heading up, which is a positive. Now here's a slide on how the company makes money. I think this is a great slide for them to put at the very start of their presentation. You can see here they call themselves a value chain payments provider. We start at the manufacturer, who does a deal with the wholesaler, who then does a deal with the retailer, and then eventually sells on to the consumer. We can see that at every step of the transaction, there's a payment collected by Cirralto. We can see here that their typical merchant fee is only 1.5% of every payment made between the players. They're also addressing in this slide the potential market opportunity that the company has. We can see here business-to-business digital payments are estimated to be worth approximately $100 billion annually in Australia, which is a massive figure. So next up is the commercial impact of the BPSP, which we spoke briefly about before. So this agreement incorporates a strategic merchant rate, which will increase Cirralto's margins on digital payments up to 40%. You can see some other pointers here, but essentially it brings more business through the card networks by allowing batch payments, collaboration between accounts, and improving settlement times, which are key to Cirralto's business strategy. So the key goal of Cirralto is to improve bill presentation. So we can see here, improved bill presentment is a key component of Cirralto's offering. These points here tell us exactly what they're offering, which includes better bill presentment options. So this is choosing to view and pay a single invoice or all invoices in one place. It includes flexible payment options for customers, allowing them to pay via credit card or bank transfer, really gives them flexibility. It enables customers to pay multiple invoices in one transaction, faster payments, lower payment processing fees. All up, there's a lot of benefits of their system. Cirralto is also introducing a new application called My Spender. Now they've given us a live demo of this product, so let's take a look at that.
So now what I've done is I've signed in to My Spender as Anthem, and I am seeing Establishment's accounts receivable ledger as it pertains to me. And again, I owe $58,500. So if I was to want to make a payment, all I got to do is click that Pay Now button. And I'm going to select the invoices I want to pay. And when I select them, obviously the transaction value is getting totaled. I'm going to use my saved credit card. All I've got to do is enter my CCV and I'm going to pay that. Now, what's going to happen is at the point of paying that, the system itself is going to notify Establishment that Anthem's made a payment. And then after it's done that notification, it's then going to update the general ledger. So what you'll see is all those invoices disappear at a zero and be marked as paid.
As you can see, this is a pretty interesting piece of software, which obviously has quite a lot of potential if Cirralto can get it out to the market. So here's now a look at what the company's planning on doing in the next few months. We can see their plan for February is to test their BPSP arrangement and process at least $1 million of transactions. So this step is obviously proof of concept, and they also talk about improving their relationships with the global card schemes. We know they've got Visa on board. The next step, logically, is to get MasterCard on board. In March, they're planning on launching the BPSP services through their spender payment platforms. They'll also continue customer growth from the previous quarters. And then finally, in April, they'll launch their spender quote-to-pay services and look at new acquisition opportunities. Now, I like that the company's given us a timeline of events coming up. However, we can see that it's not extremely forward-looking. It's quite a short-term timeline. I'd really like the company to tell us more about what their plans are for 2022 and beyond. On this slide, they give us another overview of the business. We know that they're a payment service provider. They talk about delivering collaborative commerce solutions to their customers and enable them to get paid what they are owed on time. And this is a key part of what they're selling. Our payment system solves the inefficiencies between buyers and sellers when they create, share, record, and pay invoices. More on that just in a minute. On this slide, we can see some of their product suite, which they've been talking about throughout their presentation. Feel free to pause the video and check out exactly what each of these products do, but the main one I wanted to talk about, Spender Pay, which they've spoken about numerous times throughout the presentation. So Spender Pay is a fully integrated payment solution that enables customers to make payments to any supplier via credit card or bank account. This seems to be the platform of focus, so let's look into more of what this does. So here they talk about Spender Pay solving some of the current problems in business-to-business transactions. They talk about the fact that 53% of all invoices are paid late, 20% are the wrong amount entirely, and 20% are paid to the wrong account. Not a good record by any stretch. So on this final slide, they talk about how they're going to solve the pain points the business currently have with B2B processes. It's all about improving the systems, which at the moment involve things like manual date entry, which can obviously lead to errors, improving business processes so businesses spend less time wasting money on manually processing payment invoices, giving customers more payment options, and then also improving business cash flow due to these late payments. So that's a summary of what Cirralto does. That's their investor presentation. It is a little bit light on, and I would like to see more about the company and what they're planning on doing in the years to come. If we have a look at their financials briefly, we can see their revenue has been steadily increasing. However, they've had a hard time getting their net income after taxes moving in the right direction. A positive, however, would be that they've been able to keep their debt levels low, at least up until this point. What is concerning, however, is that their current ratio is only 0.28. This means that they don't have a lot of cash to meet their short-term liabilities. We also note that they're rapidly increasing the shares outstanding, which is obviously their main source of cash at the moment. Personally, there are a couple of factors that I'd be considering very closely before investing in Cirralto. I'd love to know your thoughts on the company. Maybe you've invested in them already. Drop a comment below and let me know what you think of Cirralto. As always, guys, don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.